The countdown is here, ladies and gentlemen. Nvidia will be releasing its earnings at the close of today's market. Question on your minds is, do you buy Bitcoin now or not? Well, look, Bitcoin hasn't really been doing much. We had a little bit of a swipe of liquidity down to the 24,282 zone. And there's, well, 25. God, this guy always manages to mess it up. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? It's a simple thing. You don't need to do anything but just talk. Your script is there, bro. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, Nvidia's earnings announcement is going to be a trigger for the whole marketplace. The question on investors' minds is this bull run absolutely bull? You know what I'm going to say. Or is AI really going to sustain it? This is what's on our minds. Now, in terms of the options market, word on the street says that there's going to be some implied volatility reading an 11% move to the upside and to the downside. And one article did go on to say that just because the news is good, and if it does hit its estimates, doesn't mean that it's going to keep moving higher. Why would they say that, bro? Why would you want to plant that? We got bigger issues right now, guys. FedNow. That's the problem we've got. FedNow is effectively a new payment program by the Federal Reserve, which is kind of conflicting with cryptocurrency's purpose. The only edge that cryptocurrency has over FedNow is just price advantage. How much does it cost to send money? Because the one thing that FedNow has over cryptocurrency, reliability, legislation, convenience. People are just used to fear. Sad truth, I know. But I tried to go and buy some watermelons from an old boy in a truck on the roundabout, and I says, can I pay in Bitcoin? He looked at me and went, huh? That's where we at with crypto. Let's have a conversation, guys. Before we get the party started, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel and you're wondering what is this system that this guy is talking about, the hybrid system, go to the Traders Reality website. There's a free course on there. It costs you nothing but time to do. 1 hour and 10 minutes of information and gives you everything that you need about the hybrid system. If you want to learn more about it and use it in your everyday trading, get yourself over to the Patreon. But remember, we're going to be moving from the Patreon soon. So anybody that does join the Patreon now will get access to certain benefits on the website as Patreon users. Okay, so keep that in mind. And with the Patreon, you get access to the Discord. A lot happens in this Discord, and we break down the charts quite well. There's some monsters in there that trade the hybrid, and they are beasts. People that started with no idea what the hybrid was, and they're still in there to this day, breaking down and tearing up the charts. So if you want to be part of that gang, get with the Patreon. But also, you can get into the Discord as well. It is free to join. Okay. Cool. Now let's get back to the flavor of what is going on in the marketplace. So before we get into Bitcoin, again, the star of the show right now is Nvidia, with the earnings announcements due to be released after the close of today's market. That's around about 10 p.m. UK time. Now look, with regards to the options market, there is a suggestion that if it does actually hit above its estimates, then we could expect an 11% move to the upside. That'll bring it to around $509 a share. Happy days. But then if it doesn't, we could expect it to go in the opposite direction of 11% down, which will then bring it to around $410 per share. Now, if we look, you can see we've got two vector candles. You've got the red vector and the green vector. Now, from now until that release, Nvidia might be trading sideways. But what I will suggest you pay attention to is as the markets come to a close, keep an eye out on what Nvidia is doing. Now, some of you guys that might have access to order flow or level 2, just pay close attention to what orders are coming in just before the market closes. Now, the reaction will be met with the actual NASDAQ and the S&P, and the NASDAQ and the S&P will be closed for 1 hour once the markets all close. That's the futures market. So 10 p.m. UK time, the markets all close in principle, and then the futures markets will reopen again 1 hour later. So we're going to be watching what happens with the reaction to this Nvidia news announcements, because if it is positive, NASDAQ will most likely gap up and start continuing its move back up again. And this whole move to the downside was engineered to pick up stocks cheaper with the continued move back up. But it's all on Nvidia, okay? Now, to go into Bitcoin's price action, we can see bright as day. Bitcoin is still flirting with this range. And we have been here before, guys. We know that when Bitcoin drops aggressively, there's usually a consolidation. And if the news is going to be anything that I think it's going to be like, then we're probably going to see Bitcoin probably work down lower. But we do have imbalances in the chart that we would naturally expect Bitcoin to try and make a recovery towards. These are these points, okay? But it's all going to be news-based. Now, if we're going to assume that it's all going to be news-based, then we need to understand what's actually going on. We've got this problem right now with Binance. Binance right now is talking about liquidation fears, but some of you might not look at it like that. You might say, you know what, that's an opportunity for me to start buying more Binance coin. FUD, 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 buy, buy, buy. Well, we need to really look at things because... Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Steve just gave me a call and told me to stop talking about it. I asked him what, and then he put the phone down. So... back to what I was saying, Binance Coin. The article is also going on to talk about the large-scale liquidation, but more importantly, the build-up to what could be another fallout in cryptocurrency. This is what this article is going on and saying. Now, let me just address something. If Bitcoin reacted the way it did to FTX, and then they're now saying that Binance is effectively going to be another FTX scenario, when is Bitcoin going to behave like Bitcoin? This is the problem we've got with cryptocurrency. All right? We know Bitcoin is not controlled by anyone. It's all about a supply. Whoever's buying it is buying it. Whoever's selling it is selling it. That's all that cryptocurrency is, well, in relation to Bitcoin. All right? It's a place where you can just exchange money and move it. Happy days. Why should FTX be a problem for Bitcoin? Why should Binance be a problem for Bitcoin? It's on the Ethereum. It's an altcoin. Why should it matter to Bitcoin? Again, it's idea. It's people are emotionally drawn to fear and greed. And that's the problem we've got. And cryptocurrency or even Bitcoin is not there yet. It's not there where people could just dismiss the idea of what's going on in cryptocurrency and still hold their crypto or Bitcoin. You know, SpaceX, they got rid of their cryptocurrency. They got involved for a little bit and then they just stepped out of it. Some people will always hold their crypto regardless. I mean, that's where the diamond hands come into play. Okay. But we've got problems like this. FedNow. FedNow is a payments program by the Federal Reserve just to speed up payments between businesses and consumers. Now, the problem we've got with FedNow is it is all about fear. And in the article, it goes on to say that FedNow does not have any mention to CBDCs. So it's like they're trying to just come away from cryptocurrency, because if cryptocurrency is all about speed of payments, well, FedNow has just turned around and says, yeah, we can do the same thing now. Cryptocurrency was all about making sure that you can get your money quick. You get the benefit of having a coin. It's all got this blockchain story. Well, in comparison, FedNow and cryptocurrency, the only price advantage that cryptocurrency has is price advantage. It's just the cost. Now, of course, blockchain technology can allow people to benefit in other ways of doing business. But fundamentally, people want reliability, they want legislation, and cryptocurrency hasn't had a great reputation. It's all surrounded by scams and manipulations, treachery. Well, if people are going to be looking at cryptocurrency as the future of payments, they're going to need a little bit more of a backing. FedNow's come in and said, here we go. We've got the same kind of process. We're still using fiat, but we can guarantee safety. And that's the problem we've got. Cryptocurrency doesn't endorse the idea of safety. And that's what crypto needs to do. It needs to pass over that idea that, yes, it's about safety. Okay? But when I say safety, I'm not talking about the literal mechanisms of the blockchain where it'll guarantee to receive your money. One misprint of an address, your money's gone. With FedNow, what they're saying is effectively that it's reliable. And it's no different to just putting money in one bank to the next. People like that reliability. People like that consistency. So again, we're in that situation where fiat and crypto, whose reputation is better at getting money to one place to another? We know cryptocurrency would be the superior thing because of how fast it is, depending on what coin you're using or protocol, whatever. But people are still new to crypto. I can't even buy watermelons with Bitcoin. That's the problem we've got. So to put it into perspective for you, yes, we've got the news announcements coming later on for Nvidia, with even more news announcements coming out in the week. We've got tomorrow's unemployment claims data coming into play. We've also seen that already the dollar dominance is climbing up. That's a problem for Bitcoin. If dollar keeps moving up, Bitcoin one way or another will keep on moving down. Hopefully, we get some news today by the US suggesting that the manufacturing sector is going to slow down. Because if that's going to be the case, then we would initially get a reaction. Dollar would drop, and then Bitcoin would likely try and move back up again. If they try and bring price back up, they may struggle around this range right here, which would be the recovery of the red vector candle zone. Just look. If we zoom in, you can see they've already recovered this red vector region. Look at that candlestick wick right there. So if they've recovered that point, that means they've done the business. Now we've got this other vector candle zone up here and then up here. But if the news is going to force Bitcoin's price action to go lower, there's nothing we can do but wait until they really find the low and then make the reversal back up. Again, if they are marking price down for it to come back later, then these zones right here will be points of interest. If Bitcoin's going to go to 100K, of course it's going to go back up through 30. That means it's going to go back to 27 and back through to 29 and continue back up. Okay? But all I'm suggesting to you guys is just keep an eye out on Nvidia. Watch Bitcoin's range, because as we go into the higher time frames on the daily, you can see bright as day that if Bitcoin does break beyond the 24,000, let's mark it off, 24,832, that is where we could get a little bit of a blood spill and Bitcoin will start attacking this previous vector candle zone, which sits from the 24,043 going all the way down towards the 20,502 zone. As I bring it to a close, guys, a few thoughts for you. Yes, Binance looks like there could be some liquidation issues right there. And you might see it as an opportunity to buy up more Binance coin. Cool. Just keep an eye out. Again, yesterday's video was about the yields. The relationship on how long money is being locked up in assets for is for shorter term moves. So keep that in mind. Cash is also a position. And then we've got this idea of the FedNow challenging the idea of cryptocurrency. And the only benefit that cryptocurrency has over FedNow is price advantage. Okay? It needs to be more than that. We need reliability. We need consistency. We need safety, legislation. Is cryptocurrency, in essence, ready for that now? Or does crypto need to completely slump and make people disbelieve in it for it to actually start coming back up again, and then we can get this legislation rolled out? Because if they don't legislate it, that's a problem for us, ladies and gentlemen, because it means that we have effectively capped ourselves at the potential for what cryptocurrency could become. The more legislation, the more adoption, the more people from Wall Street will start getting involved, the more likely Bitcoin is going to keep on moving up. That's my opinion. Mad love and respect, and I'll be checking in with you all tomorrow. Peace.